All right, I guess this is a review of an electric. It's a Husqvarna K4000 cut and break. It's an electric saw. So in my application, which is opening a doorway on the inside of a foundation, I don't feel like getting choked out by gas, so I feel like electric was the way to go. I didn't even know this saw existed. I was initially gonna use my buddy's fucking Still Quick Cut, that I'm sure a lot of you would be all familiar with, and I was dreading that. I got a quote from a company, and you know, it's not that the price was high, it's just that it was a lot of money. What isn't? So I did a bit of investigation, and yeah, a cut and break. So it's got like the two blades there. It's plunges, I don't know, maybe like two and a half, whatever, up to the spindle. So you'll have to do a succession of cuts. You can kind of see, this is 9 inches across. So you can see the series of cuts that I did to get all the way through. Honestly, this thing, it chooches pretty good. I mean, it's electric, so it's not going to have the jam that gas does, but like I'm also not going to fucking die of carbon monoxide poisoning. It does require a 20 amp service, so it has an inline breaker that I think are required to reset once it's been off for, I don't know how it knows. Once it's been off for an hour, you have to do that. So it has like a self-test, which is great because keep in mind, I got motherfucking rain boots. Look at this, I'm wearing this like smock. You're going to get filthy. I'm standing in a puddle running a 20 amp machine. So I'm thankful that this thing resets itself. This is probably like a heavy GFI type of thing. I'm running off a really heavy extension cord I got from Amazon. Never buy your extension cords from Lowe's or Rona or Home Depot. This is like, wow, I forget what the gauge is. It's a really heavy extension cord that was about 1/3 the price of Home Depot. Man, I gave myself a jerry-rigged plug. I'm not going to show you the front side of the fucking panel because there's just wires hanging out of it. But this is just some 10 gauge stove plug. It's just a glorified extension cord. I know it's not really copacetic, but I mean, this is a temporary setup. So there's your 20 amp jam. So I mean, it's pretty good. I only tripped the breaker once. That's only because when I was getting right down to the very bottom, I started getting a little wiggly waggly. See, I tacked a board on the wall for that cut, but I just kind of eyeballed the middle one, and at the bottom and kind of had a little like that. So I only tripped the breaker once when I was kind of forcing it, and just like a lot of tools, like, you know, let the blade do the work. You know, when you start jamming it in and the RPM starts dropping, it starts adding more load. It's you know, it's tough on the tool, and you flip the breaker, and you know, I mean, just it's easily avoidable, and it doesn't get you anywhere ahead. So yeah, so don't do that. Don't force the tool. In my case, it's very awkward because I mean, this thing's, well, it's not heavy, but it's not light, and it's weird, and it has a lot of centrifugal force too. So it's like, depending on how you angle the tool and angle your positioning and where you are, it can get a little bit awkward, and I was just at an off angle. Anyways, I'd say this thing cuts as quick as I could reasonably expect it to. Really, it's not too bad. So here, I'll step back. So this is 7 feet, and then, I don't know, two, so it's 2 cross cuts. So it's that like approximately 18 feet at 9 inches deep. I'd say that's about 4 to 6 hours of cutting. But in the meantime, you have to chip away the little thingies in the middle. And I built myself a little pen here. And this is just some 6mm vapor barrier. Because I'm not trying to flood out the whole basement. So I have my wet dry shop vac that was sitting on the edge of that bench ladder, and then where'd you go, you loyal bastard? This is the first power tool I ever bought in my life 20 fucking years ago. And yeah, you fill it up with water, and you just pull the drain plug, and fill the buckets, cart the water out. And so, yeah, it wasn't just straight cutting it. You know what? Honestly, once you do like 2 sets of rows, I'm not a huge dude. So it's kind of nice to take a break, shut the water off, vacuum up the stuff, cart out a little bit of the debris, this and that. So I've opened up that side. That wasn't too bad. I was here for 2 or 3 hours yesterday. What time is it now? It's like 3 o'clock. Got here at 11 today. So I managed to open up all that. Maybe 6 hours labor. And I'm not exactly giving her either, you know. I'm just kind of middle of the road. I just got to open up this side. And then we can have 2 nice pocket doors to connect the existing and finished basement of the house to this side, which was a unfinished workshop. Had a nice little hockey rink there at one point. Yeah, not too bad. Honestly, this tool, for what it is, it's pretty awesome. You're still going to get smoked out in a sense. Last night I did not wear a mask. And I realized that just even though you're cutting wet, they're still kind of fogged out the air. So you're definitely going to want to wear a mask. I doubled down on the earplugs, partially because I went to see a Malmsteen concert 2 nights ago and my ears are still ringing. So I put the foam earplugs in and I put my my earmuffs on top of that. Yeah, and shit. Fucking, yeah, you're going to get dirty. Look, I'm wearing this like smock, you know, and like, yeah, you're going to get fucking filthy. You're going to get filthy. I couldn't imagine. It's very fortunate that we're all good with changing the floors on this side. So just, yeah, you can see my whole setup here when I drop those fucking slabs. I'm not trying to like make a hole of china. So in my head, initially, I was going to be like, well, I'll do like some horizontal cuts to checkerboard it, but for vertical cuts, it's really easy saw to use because you just kind of let the weight do it for you. But the horizontal cut I did on the bottom and the one like breakaway one there in the middle, the horizontal cutting of this saw is it's a little bit unforgiving. It's a little tough. So yeah, I just let the slabs drop and then I split them up with a sledgehammer. So these fuckers are probably about 200 pounds a piece. Yeah. So I will cart these upstairs, I guess with a dolly and a strap. You know, because they got kind of a nice flat edge, at least on one face. So sit them on a dolly, strap them, bring them upstairs, and be gone with them. So there you go. So it's a learning process, right? My head was like, oh, I'll checkerboard the whole thing. And then I realized that cutting horizontally is like fucking blows. This thing is cuts vertically. Like you just let the weight of the saw do the work, you know, and you just guide it. But cutting horizontally is no fun. So try to keep that to a minimum, drop it. And then when you got the one little piece, you just kind of, you know, put it on an incline and then give her all smacky poo with the sledgy poo. And then that's it. That's all. So I got one more cut up there, trim out on the bottom. So whatever. And then one in the middle. I'll probably just do it the same way. So shouldn't be too bad. Anyways, Husqvarna K400 or 4000. Super, super awesome saw for what it is. And you get really good plunge depth on it too, I think. Well, I'm not going to bother looking, but you can see the markings here is 12, 13, 14. So you can go really thick with this. This foundation's 9. 9 is only, I'm going to guess and say this is like an 8 or 8.5 inch blade. That's probably the mark for 9 right there. So yeah, so it's perfect for my needs, which would probably be basically any standard residential foundation. So if you're doing egress windows, whatever, this is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I'm more of a bit of a finisher, but in this case I figured I would just take it on myself because customers gone this week. Time is of the essence. We already have to change the whole fucking HVAC trunk because it's undersized, and They both work from home, and I had to trace down half the electrical, and like, look at this fucking bullshit. I mean, this is me walking into this place. Like, ugh, dude, fucking Stevie Wonder could do a better job. Anyways, Husqvarna K4000, fucking good ass tool for what it is.